Today we're talking with Rachel Simon of the awesomely clever lighting company out of Brooklyn called Lights Up. Thanks for speaking with us today.
Pleasure to talk with you, Adrienne.
What is your background like? How did you get into designing light fixtures?
Originally, I worked in fashion accessories, which I would still like to be doing that. I just saw lampshades all looking the same, and I had this concept to make decorated lampshades. I put one foot in front of the other, wound up with a factory with 12 employees making lamps and lampshades. But the name Lights Up comes from the concept of having lampshades that when you turn the light on, they look different and they light up.
I didn't know that. That's cool. You know, definitely your fixtures are very modern and sleek, but there's totally a playfulness to it. I mean, do you consider your products to be really fun?
I love that they're fun. We like to have humor here. One of our mottos is that there are no shade emergencies. We prefer to have a little bit of a sense of humor about this. It's just a lamp. But we are also furiously committed to and passionate about design.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and I love, you were just in London. You were saying you were just in London. One of the things I love about England and the London designers is their whimsy. And there is a lot of whimsy with Lights Up.
I agree. I like that a lot about it. So did you always start with having fun, or has the Lights Up philosophy evolved over the years?
Well, the real it's always been the same, which is form follows function. We believe in the functionality of lighting. We make lamps that you can really read by and that shed a nice light and a functional light. And then from that, we follow whatever design influences or inspirations we're playing with at that time. But there is a lot of playfulness in it. One of the things I believe in and that I really enjoy about my work is the dialogue of design. Working with other designers. Right now I work a lot with my nephew, Tom Simon. I enjoy it. I enjoy the process of design.
What are some of the specific inspirations? Does it change year by year? Do you get inspiration from kind of retro past designs like a lot of designers are now, or do you look more to the future?
It's a combination, especially with lighting right now, because there's a demand on changing the light bulb and the source of lighting. So seeing more and more compact fluorescent and LED light, that, of course, influences our design. We are all about the lampshade right now and also about ambient lighting. I find inspiration, I love, of course, mid-century, but I also love Bauhaus and I also love Art Nouveau. So there's a lot of different decorative influences in our lighting, starting with very minimal. I am a true minimalist. Everything is minimal. I basically look at wonderful things and I cut it down to the skeleton of it. And then we go back to adding.
It never occurred to me before that with all the changing light bulb needs of consumers that might affect designs. How specifically does that affect it? Are you able to do more things with compact fluorescence, or does that hinder the design?
Well, the public is scared of compact fluorescence because most people, when they think of fluorescence, they think of those awful ceiling lights that kind of flicker and make everybody look dead, and offices and railway stations and things like that. But the compact fluorescent has evolved very quickly over the last few years. So there really is warm light now that you can get, warm light bulbs. It has a lot of different effects. One is that when customers want compact fluorescent light bulbs on sconces, which a lot of buildings want now, or on ceiling fixtures, they are not dimmable. They say they're dimmable bulbs, but all these things play into the design and functionality. The LEDs are still not where we want to be designing for LED bulbs, but we're not finding the quality of light from them yet to make them compatible with home users. And, there are very expensive LED desk lamps out there, but I find that they don't give enough light to make them functional. It's something we are constantly looking at and researching and studying.
Is there kind of another lighting direction that's on the horizon, or are we all just kind of waiting for LEDs to look really good?
I think compact fluorescents are still in the running. The problem with the mercury, which has been an issue in recycling, is becoming minimal. So compact fluorescents are still, and they are always working on making them dimmable and more user-friendly. And I think that the public needs to get over their fear of the quality of light, because compact fluorescents at this point really are giving a very nice light. I use them in my home. We have an ambient lampshade, which turns all compact fluorescent lights into a nice quality light.
Nice.
We light our showrooms always with strictly compact fluorescent light bulbs. People are in there with a million lights going, and it's a nice, soft, complementary light that we get. The LEDs, I think they are coming up fast and furious, and I think we will be seeing more and more of them. Mm-hmm. But the jury's out on who's going to rule.
It's always interesting to hear what the trends are. You mentioned earlier that at some point you had like 12 employees. Is that how many people you have working for you now, or is it a lot more, a lot less?
We are a very slim and mean working machine. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What Lights Up does is we design our bases and import them from China. We work with really great factories in China. Mm-hmm. We visit them often, and then we make our lampshades here in the U.S. We make our lampshades in Brooklyn. It's a 30-year-old lampshade factory. So the Lights Up team is combined with our lampshade factory, and it's about the same size as it always was.
How do you break up your day? Like, is it mostly spent dealing with, the business side of things, or do you get to do as much creative work as you'd like?
I don't think any of us ever gets to do as much creative work as we'd like.
Yeah, that's true.
And always, one of the mottos here is it's always something. Something is always going to happen. So it's, we put out fires, we deal with problems. Right now, one of the problems Lights Up is facing, which I think a lot of people are facing, is that a lot of the mills are going out of business. So some of our fabrics that we've been able to get, we can't get anymore. What we do have is we have our own prints, and those are made in the South. The fabric is actually made in the South from recycled plastic bottles.
Oh, interesting.
And it's printed with 100% water-based inks. And so that is our main green focus, is the fabrics there. But there's always going to be some problems, and as the boss, I'm constantly running around trying to keep everything organized. I happen to have the world's greatest shipper and the world's greatest office manager. So
congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very proud and very happy. We're a team here, and everybody's doing everything.
That's
One
great.
of the pleasures, I think, of running a small business is that you get to wear so many hats, and you get to think about, what kind of box you want to ship this in, or what kind of packaging you want, and that allows us to be as green as we can be, and as eco as we can be, and as creative as we can be in every single aspect of the business.
That's wonderful. You mentioned earlier you were once in fashion accessories, I think. Is that what you would be doing if you weren't running a lighting business?
Yeah, I think I would go back to handbags, and I like the function of things that are also decorative. I love that combination of function and decorative, and I love handbags.
Who doesn't? Let's be honest.
And
They're wonderful.
I love small leather goods, all the little things you put in the bags.
I'm with you on that one for sure. What are just some of the upcoming goals for Lights Up? What's on the horizon?
What's coming up that we're really excited about is Lights Up Goes Outdoors.
Ooh.
And we will be introducing our first piece at the Dallas show next week.
Ooh.
And we will be continuing to introduce more Lights Up Goes Outdoors. We believe in the outdoor room, and more people are using their outdoor space as places to entertain and hang out and relax. And as the sun sets, we want Lights Up to light it up.
Like, how many lights are you going to start with in that line?
We're introducing one SKU. We call it the Beach. It's really elegant and really beautiful. And then over the course of 2011, we will be introducing an entire new series.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today. It was very interesting.
A pleasure. You're lovely.
For more information about Rachel and Lights Up, you can visit lightsup.info. You have been listening to the first Too Modern Designer interview of the new year. You can check out fun podcasts. You can totally get inspiring design posts, and you can get design advice, and you can do it all at the blog at toomodern.com.